holiday stuff. Hi everybody, we just wanted to welcome y'all to our channel. There and back again. I'm Ira.
I'm Nikki. So basically we decided to do the van life kind of on a spur of the moment. We didn't really have any plan. It's something we had dreamed about doing for a long time. Every night we were watching YouTube videos about other people doing it, and I was in a job that just wasn't working out for me anymore, and I really needed to leave it for multiple reasons. Part of my compensation was an apartment, so of course when I chose to leave the job, I also lost the apartment. We gave notice, but unfortunately that notice wasn't received, and we had to vacate a lot sooner than we originally thought would happen. So that kind of put us in a position of having to scramble a little bit, and we were like, what do we do? Do we get an apartment somewhere else? Do we move in with family and friends, or do we just kind of chuck it all and live in a vehicle? And obviously that's what we ended up doing.
And we have always wanted to do something like this to kind of get closer to God and to through nature kind of, and to connect with different kinds of people, new people from different places, and with each other. And so we're hoping to do that as we travel around, and we already have. So we've met a lot of people and seen a lot of beautiful places. And
Ira had the idea to start off with the bucket list places in case for whatever reason we can't continue on this trip, which for us was Montana and Idaho. We had started the journey going to North Carolina to see my kiddo off in her new place, and we decided we should just go for what we really wanted to do and then just kind of figure it out from there.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure we did those big things first, the places we really wanted to see the most, because like she said, we don't know who knows, what could happen with health or money or the vehicle. And so we're going to try to do that first, especially before it gets too cold or too snowy, I should say, for these areas, because
I don't want to be caught in a blizzard.
Yeah, a lot of it's at high altitude. Some of it's already too late. Some of the higher altitudes, from what we hear, we've talked to a person that lives up there that Nikki knows, and we figured that we knew that would be the case. So we're gonna try to hit what we can. It's September right now, and yeah, there's a risk we could get dumped on with snow and get stuck. But I guess that's life is full of risk. That's not the worst thing in the world. And
plus, it's really hot in the Midwest, and we want to go somewhere where it's not so hot, because I think we're dying in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that's true too. And then as it gets deeper into, we're not into winter yet, but as it gets into winter and then deeper into winter, or even we'll probably leave those areas before it's fall. We'll head south before it's fall's over, I should say. We'll head south and see some places. There's other kind of bucket list places we want to see along the way south from Montana.
But the idea was that we were poised in a position where the kids are adults, they've done their own thing. I no longer had a job, no longer had a apartment, and we could make a choice: get another 9-to-5 job or hit the road. And I guess we went hit the road. I figure it's never going to get any easier. As we get older, get more stuff again, get settled into jobs, get another apartment, it's likely we wouldn't have been in another position like this to where things were wide open for us just to go. And one of the things I always think is, I don't want to look back on my life wishing I had tried it. I'd rather say I did it. Fail or succeed, at least we tried. And that's kind of where I am at on this. I don't know where it's going to take us, where we're going to go, who we're going to meet. I'm hoping the Spirit leads us and God's with us, and we get to do some good while we're out here, and I hope we get to see some beautiful things. And each step of the way, we're just kind of basically rolling the dice where you want to go next. Some of our goals on this, I just wanted to have time to get closer to God, more time to study the Bible, read, work on my art, get healthy. That's a big one for me. Iris talked about that before too. But I want time to exercise and eat right the best we can on the road. It's a little difficult because we don't have refrigeration yet or anything like that. We just have. I keep leaning out, in and out, in and out. We don't have refrigeration because we're trying to do this as basic as we can for now, just because we wanted to hit the road. So eating healthy without refrigeration has been a little difficult, but we're figuring out ways to do it. But health, God, our relationship, having time to bond together, talk, work on our marriage, and then our relationship with the world around us, both in nature and with the people that we meet. We're hoping to do some good out there. It's been a rough couple years with our jobs in various aspects. Very stressful things have been happening, and this was never planned. We never had some master plan just to do this. I've always dreamed about the van life. It's been since we've been married, pretty much.
Yeah, it seems like we've talked about something like this ever since we've been together.
It just never felt like it was doable. Again, because I think I tend to get hung up on the perfect situation. Everything has to be perfect. It has to be just right. Gosh, like I said before, and you just can't do it in an old van. You can't do it with all the equipment, but you really can. That's what we've done, is just kind of jumped in. Just waiting for it to be perfect wasn't going to happen. And like every night, our routine was pretty much, my legs were hurting from being on my feet all day. Ira would rub my legs while we watched YouTube videos about other people living in their cars, and not even in vans, living in cars.
Well, it's the channel Roaming Reckless. Shout out to Maria, because she inspired us in a huge way, because she started out in a Subaru wagon type of vehicle, and
by herself.
And she just did it a lot like we would. She just kind of, did it with what she had, and she didn't. It didn't have to be bougie, and so then when you see sometimes you see these videos and everything's all perfect and wonderful and beautiful, and you feel like, oh gosh, I wish I could do that. That seems so perfect, and that must take a lot of planning and prep. But with her, it was like, oh, it's real. Anyone essentially could do this. She's a single woman, sleeping, for example, in her car in truck stops and things, and she's not one bit scared and never had the slightest problem with it. So, I mean, for the vote, she was never personally not safe. And she said if she ever did feel that way, she'd just leave a place. So the point is, though, people like that, there's also other people before her that had inspired, I know me, and you'd seen some of it. Ava Carl, Timothy Ward, Ryan Van Duzer. He goes on bike packing trips, and so I do want to shout these people out because they have influenced us significantly.
We watch all these people who just do it, and it's kind of like, wow, they're just living the life, and it's like, well, I can never do that, but like, no, we can. We've been doing it for 2 months now.
Yeah, about.
And it's actually really awesome. It's harder than I ever imagined it would be. I thought this would just be easy. Hey, we have nothing to worry about. We're just in a car, just drive to the next location and hop out, eat your food, you're good to go. But it's actually constant. Like, there's not a lot of downtime. I'm really surprised by that.
It's actually 60 days today, I think.
Oh, is it 60 days today?
I think.
So, woohoo! So I exceeded my original prediction of 2 weeks. We've made it 2 months, which is really cool. I really foresee us going the long haul on it. As long as Fiona here holds out, I can see us going quite a while. It's hard, but it's fun. It's different. But there is something to be said about being completely in charge of your day, like where you go, how you spend your time, what you're going to do next. It's freeing, really. I don't feel constrained ever, other than trying to find someplace to sleep can be difficult sometimes. Leave me in again. As you can tell, I've never done a YouTube channel before. I don't know how to edit, so again, less than perfection. iMovie.
The frustration of getting that clip just right, dragging it. It's on a phone screen.
So yeah, we're not pros. We don't have fancy equipment. We just have our iPhones. We just have iMovie. We have our van with its basic equipment. The whole point of even doing the channel is, one, to document our journey, because it's, this is a big adventure for us, and I want a record of it. For our family to know what's happening, we can give them kind of updates through this, and so they can kind of get a ride along, per se, of what we're doing and seeing where we're going, and all that. And also, in case anybody actually does watch this channel, maybe it'll help somebody else be inspired to just go.
We're pretty spontaneous and flexible, and comfortable with improvisational situations. Like if we had to stay somewhere for a while and work 9-to-5 type jobs or something like that, or temp jobs or whatever, that's what we'll do, while we live in the vehicle. And so yeah, flexibility I think is important. You've got to be comfortable with something as simple as, where are we going to sleep tonight? It could change from day to day.
And I would say that's probably been our biggest challenge, is the flexibility, in the sense of, I get some extreme anxieties.
Yeah.
I can attest to that. My mind goes a mile a minute on everything that could go wrong, and I have to kind of fight back the urge to run back to safety. It's pretty bad sometimes. We couldn't sleep on a road because I was afraid the water would wash it out from underneath us. It's pretty irrational, but it's where my mind goes. And late night Googling has got me into trouble a few times. I Google to calm my fears and end up just going down a rabbit hole of everything that could go wrong. So and then poor Ira's stuck trying to, no, the road's not going to wash out from us. No, an alligator's not going to open the car door and attack us.
Hello.
Yeah, they're not. A tree did attack me when I got out one day. That'll be for another video. But getting past those anxieties and just learning to live and be flexible has been a little difficult for me. I would say, not Ira. He just can go anywhere and do anything.
Well, and these other YouTubers helped me with those concerns. I guess I've been watching them probably more than you have for years. Like the fear of bears, when you're in an area with bears. And Ryan Van Duzer is on a bicycle going through these areas and eating food in his tent. Not only is in bear country, he's not in a car, he's on a bike, and he sleeps in a tent, and he eats his food inside his tent. It's like, you're not supposed to do that, but I've never seen a video where he actually encountered a bear, and he's going through the Rocky Mountains and through the places like this. And or Maria on the Roaming Reckless channel goes all over the place by herself, and it's never been attacked personally. That's a big thing you hear for women. Is a lot of women I've seen online will even say, well, I wish I could do this, but unfortunately I'm a single woman. And there's the perfect example. You can do it, and it's not as scary out there in the world as you might think, or as people might tell you.
Actually, everybody's really nice.
People, I've not run into any bad people that wanted to cause this problem. Weird people, interesting people.
Well, we're kind of weird too, so that
But,
works.
they never tried anything, and so, yeah, that's a big thing. I hope we can help maybe people, through our experience, help people alleviate people's fears. Like that kind of stuff, like an alligator.
I really
It's
just that was really a
don't go
panic.
walking around ponds in Florida in the dark too closely or something. You know, just, and you can take precautions, you know.
Yeah.
And you just
It doesn't stop
just
my
don't
mind.
be stupid or anything. But
I think that's the hardest thing I've had is that, and I think for me this journey is about being brave. Ira and I have talked about that a lot with my friendships and jobs and just things in my past. I've always been afraid of losing everything. I don't stand up for the people that I should. I don't stand up for myself. I don't do what's healthy often. I let people treat me bad, or I've let people treat others bad. Just, it's been a pattern in my life for a long time where I just don't do what I know is morally correct. Out of fear. I fear losing everything. I'm going to lose family, friends, my house. Lost it. Just constantly afraid of what I might lose. Constantly afraid of being with nothing at the end of the day. Constantly afraid people will turn their backs on me. But I'm learning that the most important thing in life, for me anyways, is to be brave. I'm learning that on the journey. I don't have to be scared of everything, and that I can stand up for what's right, even though it's scary, even though it could cost me a lot. I mean, I did lose everything. We no longer had an apartment. We had a bunch of people turn their back on us. We were living in our vehicle. I had to leave my job. I mean, I chose to quit, but I had to for my health and other reasons. And you know what? It's not so scary. At the end of the day, when everything was gone and the dust settled, it wasn't so scary. Sad sometimes, but not scary at all. We were surviving, thriving actually, and going on a great adventure. And I think that's kind of, brave is going to be my theme for myself as we go forward.
And that's where I got the inspiration, or we got it for the name of the channel, There and Back Again, because that was in the story of The Hobbit, the book The Hobbit, the Bilbo Baggins is the name of his memoirs. I guess that might have been in Lord of the Rings. But and what he experienced was, he was just a person that, kind of like the average Western person, just lived in a comfortable life and a predictable life, and adventure called, and he went out and responded and came back, and it was okay. And even Smaug the dragon wasn't as scary as it seemed it might be. So that's kind of what, bravery, and just in many ways, many different forms of bravery, and just kind of going after the adventure that you feel that you are being called to.
Yes. We don't know what this channel is going to ultimately end up becoming, or how it's going to, like I said, not experienced with editing at all, not experienced with YouTube. I don't know what our content, it might probably be all over the place for a while before we settle into something. But I just hope you enjoy the journey with us, and I hope we can provide something helpful, entertaining, or at least give you something to do for a little bit, or I hope you enjoy our journey with us.